Imagine this scene. A crowd sprinting toward success. Some run with honor, working late, holding their principles like shields. Others slash through the pack, lying, manipulating, crushing whoever blocks the path. Look up. Who stands at the summit? Not the kind-hearted, not the disciplined, the ruthless, the unapologetic. They write the rules. They own the game. Why does the world bend toward people with no morality? History shouts the answer. Caesars, emperors, warlords, billionaires. The pattern never breaks. The most merciless always rise. It is not a glitch. It is the operating system. To understand, we enter the mind of Friedrich Nietzsche and face a truth most avoid. Power is never a trophy for goodness. Power is the prize of those willing to seize it. School teaches a comforting myth. Work hard, be talented, stay virtuous. Success will follow. But politics, business, and empire whisper another story. Darker, truer. Power does not reward the deserving. Power bows only to those who take it. The world isn't built to lift the virtuous. It is built to serve those who exploit its hidden gears. Corrupt politicians. Why do they flourish? Because they understand the game better than sincere rivals. Politics isn't about justice. It is influence. Promise what the masses crave. Manipulate the machinery. Crush dissent before it grows teeth. The leader who sacrifices integrity to keep control will always outrank the one who clings to principle. Morality becomes a weakness when domination is the objective. Ruthless CEOs. Business is war, not charity. A CEO who values fairness above efficiency, loyalty above results, ethics above relentless expansion, will be erased by a competitor who makes the brutal choices they refuse to consider. Winning companies cut entire divisions to save the body, even if thousands bleed. Industries thrive on calculated exploitation of labor, of markets, of resources. Kindness does not raise share prices. Dominance does. The greatest rulers. Alexander burned cities. Caesar betrayed the Senate. Napoleon rewrote laws to fit his glory. None were gentle. All were unforgettable. Power demands fear before love. Fairness is an illusion, a leash designed to keep the masses in single file. Society preaches, play fair. But who penned that sermon? The very elites who bend the rules at will. Workers here, be loyal, while corporations fire them by email. Citizens obey laws, while the powerful amend clauses in midnight sessions. Fairness is a bedtime story told to those who must stay asleep. The waking world belongs to people who understand the lie and act. Nietzsche's dissection of morality. In Beyond Good and Evil, Nietzsche claims morality is not eternal law. It is a tool, a crafted illusion. The powerless, unable to wield strength, invent moral codes that shame ambition and glorify obedience. The strong see morality for what it is: a cage forged to hobble natural rulers. At the core of Nietzsche's thought hums the will to power, the prime engine behind every life form. Humans do not seek safety or even happiness as their highest aim. They seek power, the capacity to stamp their vision onto reality. Why evil people succeed. The summary. 1. They recognize that systems are manipulable. 2. They act while others debate. 3. They break rules written to restrain them. 4. They understand fear is faster than love. Goodness alone is unarmed. Ambition armed with strategy is unstoppable. The Stoic response. What, then, should the principled mind do? Nietzsche's answer is not to become cruel for cruelty's sake, but to awaken, see power clearly, accept the game as it is. Then choose, consciously, whether to play, reshape, or rise above it. Virtue is not a guarantee of victory. It is a deliberate stance in a ruthless arena. But pretending the arena is a playground, that is the surest way to be trampled. Face the darkness. Understand its mechanics. Only then can you wield power without losing your soul. Or defend your soul without losing the world. Power is not just physical. It is psychological, intellectual, creative. The greatest minds in human history, philosophers, artists, warriors, rulers, did not merely seek truth. They conquered it. They didn't adapt to reality. They bent it. They didn't serve society. They reshaped it. And they did not submit to morality. They used it as a tool. The will to power, as Nietzsche saw it, is not a thirst for cruelty. It is a hunger to overcome limits, to reject cages built by the weak, and to forge your own path through fire. Those who embrace this truth shape history. Those who deny it become forgotten pages in its margins. Two moralities. One controls, one obeys. Nietzsche divided the world into two moral frameworks. 1. Master morality, the morality of the strong. It honors strength, ambition, self-overcoming. It belongs to leaders, warriors, creators, those who do not wait for permission, but take what they believe is theirs. These people do not measure their worth by pity, patience, or submission. They measure it by conquest of the self and the world. They define morality by excellence and power, not by rules written to contain them. 2. Slave morality, the morality of the weak. It glorifies humility, obedience, victimhood. It belongs to the ruled, not the rulers, because they cannot rise above. They invert the narrative, calling strength evil, calling ambition selfish, and power corrupt. They preach kindness not because it is noble, but because it keeps rebellion asleep. They exalt meekness because it protects the status quo. Here is the brutal insight. Morality is not law. It is a choice. It is strategy. And Nietzsche's challenge is clear. Will you live by a morality imposed on you, crafted to keep you tame? Or will you rise and shape your own code? Traditional morality may feel safe, but it traps you in a system built to reward compliance, not greatness. History does not remember the obedient. It remembers those who broke away from the herd. What truly leads to success? It's not kindness, not even talent. It is a set of psychological traits that separate the rulers from the ruled. Let's break them down. Fire ambition, the relentless hunger. The first and most vital trait of those who rise is a fire that refuses to die. Ordinary people settle. They make peace with limitations. The ambitious cannot. To them, every ceiling is an insult. Every no is a dare. Ambition is not dreaming. It is obsession. It says, I am meant for more. I will have it, no matter what it takes. Crossed swords decisiveness, acting while others freeze. Power punishes hesitation. It crushes overthinking. The weak wait for the right moment. The strong create it. Decisive people commit fast. They adapt later. They trust instinct. Because waiting too long is just a slow form of surrender. Most people stall, fearing rejection or failure. The powerful accept risk, because they know it's the currency of transformation. Compass courage, using fear as a compass. Fear paralyzes the masses. They fear change. They fear standing out. They fear being seen. But the powerful? They run toward what frightens them. Because fear often hides the exact path that leads to growth. History's giants, conquerors, visionaries, revolutionaries, never played safe. They risked everything. Because safety never changes the world. Ice strategic ruthlessness, cutting what must be cut. We are told to play fair. But here's the unspoken rule. Rules only apply to those who believe in them. The powerful examine rules, and break them when necessary. They do not follow norms out of fear. They bend norms to fit their goals. Ruthlessness, in this context, is not cruelty. It is clarity. Clarity to know what must be done. Even when it is uncomfortable. Even when it means walking alone. Power does not serve kindness. It rewards those who are willing to do what others avoid, to think independently, to act with purpose, to choose truth over comfort. Fairness is a bedtime story. Reality, cold, unblinking, rewards only those who master the psychology of power. The winners history remembers are not the most ethical. They are the most ambitious, decisive, fearless, strategic. Power belongs to those who take it, and keep taking. But power is a double-edged blade. The same ruthlessness that lifts you to the throne, sharpens every dagger pointed at your back. Those who fail to master power, completely, continuously, are eventually devoured by it. When ruthlessness turns against the ruthless, Julius Caesar, target of his own triumph, charismatic general, political genius, he bent the Roman Republic until it cracked. Victories multiplied, titles piled up, statues rose, and so did paranoia among the Senate. His ambition, once his greatest asset, painted a target on his toga. On the Ides of March, the knives he once commanded found his flesh. His end was not an accident. It was the logical consequence of unchecked ascent. Napoleon, the emperor who conquered too much. He redrew Europe with cannon fire and iron will. Yet power blurred his vision. Invading Russia, ignoring winter and warnings, he learned that even the greatest strategist can drown in his own hubris. From emperor to exile, twice, Napoleon proved a brutal theorem. If hunger for power is not restrained, it consumes its master. Corporate titans, from icons to obituaries. Blockbuster laughed at Netflix. Kodak buried the digital camera it invented. Tech giants grow arrogant, believing too big to fail. Innovation punishes vanity. Power despises stagnation. What you dominate today will discard you tomorrow if you stop evolving. The core law: master power, or be mastered by it. Ruthlessness can seize a kingdom, but only balance sustains it. Dominance must pair with wisdom. Success must pair with adaptation. The moment you stop shaping power, power reshapes you. So, if you rise, ask, will you learn from the fallen, or tumble like the rest? 3 principles to wield power without self-destruction. 1. Reject naive morality. Goodness alone will not shield you. Society praises kindness, yet history crowns the shrewd. Those who cling blindly to moral scripts become prey for those who write their own. Play by rules that serve you. Break those that don't, not to become a villain, but to stop being a victim of illusions. 2. Embrace genuine strength. Power is magnetized to those who radiate it. Ambition. Set goals so vast they electrify your spine. Confidence. Stop begging. Walk your path as if the earth invites your step. Decisiveness. Opportunity whispers once, then marries the bold. People follow the voice that sounds like certainty, not the one that asks permission. 3. Stay strategic, ruthless with wisdom. Crushing every rival is simplistic and exhausting. History's supreme players mastered timing, alliances, and selective mercy. Know when to unsheathe the sword. Know when the pen or the handshake yields more power. Rules are clay, bend them. Kindness is a scalpel. Wield it or discard it. The game is adapting while others ossify. The paradox of power. Too little ruthlessness, right pointing arrow, you never rise. Too much ruthlessness, right pointing arrow, you rise. Then implode. The art is dynamic equilibrium. Strength tempered by foresight. Courage guided by self-reflection. Ambition balanced with adaptation. Remember, the throne has no seatbelts. One moment of complacency, and the same forces that lifted you hurl you into oblivion. Dominance alone does not guarantee power. Discernment does. Julius Caesar didn't just conquer. He calculated. He built trust, earned loyalty, then turned that loyalty into leverage. Machiavelli understood this deeply. To rule, you must know when to inspire and when to intimidate, when to be the lion and when to be the fox. Emotions are not allies, they are variables. If ruthlessness serves your aim, embrace it. If kindness secures the throne, wield it with grace. Morality, in this light, becomes a tool, not a chain around your will. Anti-clockwise arrows adapt or collapse. Empires rot when they stop growing. Businesses die when they cling to the past. Leaders fall when comfort makes them blind. The greatest mistake of the powerful is this: believing they have arrived. That power, once claimed, will remain. It never does. The strong endure, because they evolve. Rigidity is death. Change is not betrayal, it is strategy. The wisest do not fear change. They orchestrate it. Balance scale the balance between power and morality. Power does not have to corrupt. But only the rare few can hold it without being consumed. True strength lies not in being heartless, nor in being naively kind. It lies in knowing when to be both, and when to be neither. Will you live as a pawn? Predictable, moral, replaceable? Or become a brute, feared, reckless, destined to fall? There is a third path. Strength without corruption. Power without self-destruction. Brain, the world is not fair. Except that the system does not reward purity. It does not punish evil. It rewards clarity, strategy, execution. Those who see through illusions. Those who play the game better. They rise, not because they are the best people, but because they understand how the world actually works. Power does not care what you believe. It only cares what you can take. Axe power is a weapon, neutral but deadly. In foolish hands, power creates chaos. In tyrannical hands, it brings suffering. In wise hands, power reconstructs reality. If you crave it, be honest. Are you ready to make hard choices? To walk outside the moral comfort zone? To claim your space, not because it's given, but because you have the will to take it? Because power grants nothing, it demands everything. Warning, the final warning. Uncontrolled power is a trap. It seduces, then destroys. You can rise through strategy, but fall through arrogance. Power, in the end, must be mastered, or it will master you. Compass your turn to choose. If this message stirred something in you, if you seek not just comfort, but clarity, discipline, inner sovereignty, then rise. Don't wait for permission. Challenge yourself to become more. Link, share this message with someone still asleep. Brain subscribe if you seek unfiltered truths. Speech balloon and answer honestly. Is morality a virtue in today's world? Or a shield for the weak?